Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is going to get you eating real good. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's time for Tock and Crendor.
Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studios. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Tock and Crendor in the morning.
Oh boy, excitement.
Wow, I can tell. I can tell you're excited.
Yeah. Well, hold on. It's been a week.
What do you mean it's been a week? What happened to you?
So, first off, I had my birthday.
Yes, we're all aware.
Yep, that was fun.
I'm not going to wish you a happy birthday. You getting older means that I'm older, and frankly, I don't like it.
That's fine. I don't like it either. So, the day after my birthday, I'm glad this didn't happen on my birthday, I was cleaning the floor.
Are we about to find out another "and then Crendor fell apart" story? Because I'm here for this. Great.
So, cleaning the floor, and I was under the kitchen bar counter, and I didn't realize I was under the kitchen bar counter, and I came up and bonked my head, and at first I was like, oh my god, it was kind of like a doink, and I was like, whatever, and I felt a little woozy.
That's not good. That's not good.
No. So I was like, but I don't feel like, if you get a concussion, people they get really nauseous, they get real bad stuff, and I was like, I don't really feel that. So I was like, all right, I kept, I was taking it easy. I didn't do anything crazy. But then the next day, it was kind of still there. And I was like, I think I'm going to call my doctor. So I called the doctor, and they're like, do you have this? Do you have that? Are you dizzy? Are you this? And I was like, I'm a little dizzy, but I can walk and stuff. And then they're like, well, you should come in and get checked out. And I was like, okay. So I go in, and I'm just like, hey, I hit my head, and I'm here to get checked out for a concussion. The guy was like, just to let you know, if you are deemed bags, it's head trauma, we will admit you to the hospital. And I was like, okay.
Wait, I don't understand. Was he trying to warn you off of it, or was he just letting you know? Because it sounds threatening, just letting you know, if you go through with this, we're going to send you to the hospital. That's going to cost you more money, bro.
He sounded like he works at an urgent care all day.
Gotcha. All right. So he was letting you know that there will be charges
protocol.
if we have to send you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think he's just saying protocol. We may have to submit you to the hospital, get scans, all this stuff. And I was just like, my anxiety's already hypochondria high, and that sent it through the roof.
I think because it's an urgent care that he has to say stuff like that. Because a lot of the time when people go to urgent care, it's because they don't have a normal medical practitioner. Yeah. And so he's letting you know, hey, you may actually have to pay a lot of money. So, which is a weird thing for a medical professional to do no matter what. But
I was thinking it's some people probably get in a car accident, crazy stuff, and they go in there, right? I was reading concussion stories online.
Oh, I mean, look, it's still an indictment of the medical industry in the United States that they're just warning you, you may have to go to the hospital. Wait, why? Just, send me there if I need to go there, but it's going to cost you money.
So I was like, that's fine. I didn't want to get sent there against my will. He made it seem like they're going to be like, yeah, we're sending you over. You have no choice. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay.
I'm saying it sounded threatening. The whole thing sounded threatening. Yeah.
So I was freaked out, and my anxiety. They took my blood pressure. They're like, sir, are you anxious right now? And I was like, it's a bit of an understatement. They're like, all right. So they do that. And then finally the doctor or nurse practitioner, the main doctor person there comes in. And she's like, all right, tell me about your symptoms. Tell me all this stuff. And I was like, I hit my head and I got kind of dizzy. Thinking kind of hurts a bit. But that's, my normal everyday.
Thinking kind of hurts is
and
I don't even know what that means. Thinking kind of hurts.
It actually does. So she was like, so she was like, all right, from everything you told me and looking at you and talking to you, she's like, I think you do have a light concussion, but she's like, concussions are on a scale. And she's like, so some people, they get really bad. Like, obviously, if you get, like, you know, whacked in the head with a frying pan versus, like, bumping your head, you know, type of thing. So she was like, mainly just take it easy, relax, don't, like, stare at screens too long, don't do anything crazy, don't, you know, whatever. And, you know, I was like, all right. And that was it. So I got a light concussion. And it's still kind of, you know, it's still taking time to recover.
How many screens have you been staring at since? How many times have you streamed?
I've streamed 0 times.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, because right now you're looking at a screen, and I am very worried for you.
Well, I have all my monitors' brightnesses are turned down to like 0.
Gotcha. Okay.
I like keep taking breaks. So if I'm looking at a screen, I take a break. I was gonna do like pointless top 10, because then I was like, oh, I'll just do like film one thing. But it turns out like I had to like read information and stuff. And after I was reading a bit, I was like, this is actually kind of giving me a headache. Not like a full blown headache, but like my head just kind of, you know, felt strained in a way.
Yeah.
So I was then, obviously I go to Dr. John. I'm like, Dr. John, is this normal? Am I dying? He's like, you got to calm down.
Good man.
And then I was just like, oh my God, brain bleeds. Do I have a brain bleed? He's like, Crendor, you don't have a brain bleed. And I was like, all right. So, yeah, it's been fun. Honestly, today, you know, it's actually a little better. I've been able to like focus and do stuff a bit more and not be as bad. But it's still kind of there, so I'm still trying to like take it easy. I'm not streaming. So, yeah.
I can't believe that this is all because you bonked your head.
I can't either.
Like, when you were talking about, you know, getting older and hurting places, I didn't know you meant I actually had a concussion. I didn't know that's what you were referring to.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had like a concussion. Well, actually, I might have had one concussion when I was younger. I fell off a fence. Sure. Look, I get it. I was hitting the head with a golf club. You know. Oh, my God.
I understand head trauma. Oh, I was hitting the head with a golf club as a kid. I jumped off of a swing trying to swing over it and landed in a pit of sticks. A stick got stuck in my head. When I was a kid, like a baby, I had an X-ray machine fall on my head. Like, look, dude, if anyone has brain trauma, it's me. So I understand.
This is really explaining us in general.
It really does. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of problems because of that, but undiagnosed, so like it's not my issue.
You know, it's been a great time. Pretty much just honestly the worst things are just the eye strain. Like just if I look at something too long a screen, it's just, you know, it's like normal eye strain, but it gets amplified. And then
do you have question? Do you have dry eyes?
Not really.
Okay. The last year, I don't know if it's because I changed my light setup or what I did, but my screen's dry eyes constantly. When I'm done for the day, my eyes, like, I just want to itch them until there ain't no more itching to be had. It is the worst. And yeah, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've changed about my setup at all.
Huh. I don't know. Maybe you're just staring too much.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know. It's upsetting. It sucks.
It's yeah, I don't know. I was
trying to maybe Crendor knows, but you don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing. It's especially now after my head trauma. But I don't know. It's he's pretty much like Crendor. You know how often like athletes and stuff get like concussions and everything. And I was like, yeah.
But you're not an athlete. You're like a dude who makes videos on the internet. You shouldn't have to worry about concussions.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he's just saying that to calm me down from thinking it was a brain bleed.
Yeah, and then sometimes those athletes like lose their minds later in life.
Well, that's because they get like 20 concussions and they keep some people.
Well, you may hit your head again. And that could be it. It might only they're athletes. Maybe they need 20. Maybe you only need 2.
That's true. You're like the worst hypochondriac. Calm her down or whatever. It's like the other time I had my hypochondriac thing. You're just like, maybe you are dying. All right,
I'm gonna get a message from Dr. John that's like, bro, cut it out.
It's so it's, you know, if you comment about your concussion stories, if you're listening, give me positive concussion stories.
Like I said, I was hit in the head 3 times. 3 times and I'm fine. I'm fine. Relatively fine. Almost fine.
That's true.
Pretty close to fine. Like, on a spectrum of fine, I'm on that spectrum. Somewhere on there.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a... Well, hey, look, you weren't the only person who went to the doctor this week. I did 3 doctor's appointments this week because I'm stupid. So I decided, because I was leaving the country for a while, that I just put off all the stuff I needed to do until I got back. You know, like, I don't want to worry about it.
Of course.
So I, for some reason, just forgot that I scheduled a general practitioner, dentist, and eye doctor all in 1 week. Let me tell you how it all went real quick.
All right.
Everyone was like, well, you're doing fine, but you're fat. That was pretty much the extent of the entire thing. Medical doctor, like, well, all right, nothing too worrying here, but you're fat. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm aware, doc. I know. He's like, okay, we got to do something about that. I'm like, okay. Any advice? And he's like, I don't know, go for more walks? And I was like, I just walked around. I did 40 miles in, like, less than 10 days in London. And he's like, good start. Do more of that.
Do it again.
I was like, okay, thanks, doc. And then I went to the dentist, and the dentist is messing around my mouth. And he's like, all right, everything seems fine. You drinking a lot of coffee? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you got to cut down on that. And I was like, it's how I get up in the morning. He's like, yep, it's going to make your teeth darker. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, I don't know, maybe try drinking some warm water. And I was like, warm? Can I put anything in the water? He's like, no, don't do that. You'll get fatter. I'm like, cool, thanks, doc. And then I go to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor's like looking at my eyes. My prescription is roughly the same, she says. I think I got it checked out 2 years ago. She's like, it looks roughly the same. You don't really need new glasses, but if you want to get new lenses, go nuts. And then she's like, I'm looking at your eyes here, and the health seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, your blood pressure, we checked it, and it seemed fine. I'm shocked about that. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, usually with bigger guys, the blood pressure's pretty crazy. And I'm like, okay, so a third person being like, you're fat, Jess. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's like my parents being like, you know what? Eat a salad, maybe. I'm like, oh my God. I live this life every day, y'all. You don't have to keep like, but what if we reminded you again? Hey, fatty. I was like, oh my whole God. So that was my week. It was a real joy. Real joy. So, you know, we all have our burdens.
That's true. Some people, smash their head. Other people get called fat.
Yeah. By medical professionals who, I'm positive could care less. They were like, get him in, get him out. We got to keep going. I was like, okay, thanks. I honestly couldn't tell you if something was wrong with me because they were just like, yeah, just like looking through documents and go, well, it seems fine. What do you mean? Like, is there anything I can do to clearly it's not fine if I'm like the fat guy. Help me out. And they're like, I don't know, like go for a walk or something. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Thanks.
Dude, you're like the opposite. My guy's just like, yeah, I think you're dead. So we might send you to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, that happened to me once when I went and got checked out and they did my blood pressure, but it was a new nurse and she did it wrong. And the doctor walked in like, are you feeling okay? I'm like, what? She's like, according to your blood pressure, you should be having a heart attack right now. And I was like, what? And then she's like, oh, the nurse did it wrong. Sorry. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, I thought I was dying right now. And I didn't feel like I was dying. So I was like a little worried. Yeah.
On the positive side, I'm glad this didn't happen on my birthday. So I did get to have a fun birthday. And
what'd you do?
So I streamed a few times, got some, big time stream dollars.
Time out. What do you mean you streamed a few times?
Like I did 3 streams, but like an hour each.
You really have broken the system.
You got to hit all the demographics. And then
I see that. See, did you do a morning stream to hit the EU, and then you did like a middle stream to hit? You're a literal genius. I need you to know this.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it. And so one thing I did on the first stream was I watched TV Guide infomercials.
Love it.
And it was from 2003. And there was one guy that you probably remember, and his name was Tony Little.
Tony Little. Why do I remember that name? Is he like the workout guy?
Yeah, he invented the gazelle.
Yep. Yes. And he has the long hair and he does the crazy run. Yes, I totally remember him.
And watching him was an experience. Like he was just like going crazy. He's just like, yeah, we're working out. And he was just like, look at those buns. And then he's like, oh, this is like the announcer lady or whatever she is, the like host lady was like, wow, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you like looking at my buns. And then she was like, oh, it was something. And then pretty much there's like 3 different infomercials for just dieting. And then one for something else. It was for making money flipping houses.
From the really? From the 90s they were still doing that?
2003.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really change.
Yeah.
It's been a scam the entire, like, flip a house. Yeah, like, do that. It's fine.
It was just the it was the diet one was just the gazelle. One was like draw a picture of yourself not being fat and then work towards that. But then they're like,
draw a picture of yourself.
Yeah, they're like, draw a picture of yourself, and they mail you these cards. It was stupid. And then the other one was like, you can eat more and work out less, which I was like, they're probably telling you to eat vegetables. And then the house one was like, just like, yeah, flip houses, pay off your debt. That was it. Yep. And I was like, yeah, these are some 2003 infomercials.
I don't understand the whole flip houses, pay off your debt thing, but like, all right.
I didn't know what it was until they started talking. They were like, this is an amazing way to like save money and make money. And I was like, yo, what is it? And then they were just like, flip houses.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same vibe as when there's those YouTube videos where guys like, follow my 5 easy steps and you can have this many books and this many Lamborghinis in your garage.
It's that. And so they probably had a bad time when the housing bubble burst, 2008. But.
Oh, they definitely did. All those people are broke now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean, the VOD's up on my Twitch channel. You can watch me watch all those. Pretty fun.
I'm shocked you didn't get like the classics. Like you didn't get Total Gym with Chuck Norris.
No.
Oh my God! Go next time you do this. Look up
like YouTube videos.
That's what I'm saying. I guarantee it's on YouTube. Total Gym, Chuck Norris. Look it up next time. Where he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to work out with the Total Gym Fitness Center, and then Showtime Rotisserie Grill. With Ron Popeil, that's a classic. Where he's like, set it and forget it.
Oh, I do.
That's a great one.
I do remember.
And then of course all the George Foreman grill commercials. So many of those.
I do remember those too. Yep.
I had a George Foreman grill in college. That thing got me through a lot of nights. That was mostly my meals.
I think we had a George Foreman grill too, and it's pretty good.
I would say most people had a George Foreman grill. That was. You cook it from both sides at the same time? That was a technological marvel.
Oh my God. This is kind of off topic, but have you seen the TikTok NPC thing?
I was informed about it by my team here in the office, where they said, hey, you got to check out the NPC thing. And the one that I saw was a porn star doing it. And I was like, I don't get it. She's not like, I get what she's supposed to be doing. I get like what it is. And they're like, no, you got to watch this other lady. And it's like this blonde woman who I guess is like she's like gang, like that thing. And apparently she is the it person. And I watched it. I got to be honest. I don't know that I could watch it for long, but I understand it. I know a lot of people are posting like, I don't know what this is. I get it. I 100% get it. It is people paying money to control a human being. They've been doing that for centuries. So I very much understand.
I get it, but I would not spend a lot of time watching it.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's genuinely one of the weirder side of the internet kind of things, but I get it. I get why people would want to be like, if I pay money, then she'll like say a thing and I can make her do stuff. Like, I get it. It's weird, but I get it.
It's honestly just a weird version of like any type of thing. Like people subscribe to Twitch or give bits and stuff, so you call them out like, hey, thanks, Jimbo John 115. right?
Yeah.
It's just that, but to a kindergarten level of like, I eat apple, yum yum yum. I eat apple, yum yum yum.
Yes, I mean that's exactly the difference. I think is
like,
that it's a little.
This version is actually making my concussion worse.
Yeah, it's like a little. I don't want to say immature. I don't know what the right word for it is, but yeah, it's a little goofy in a way that I'm not. You know, it's like when we went to that one bar and they were singing Pokemon songs.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, probably too nerdy for us. It's that kind of thing. Like, look, I'm down for a nerdy bit, but sometimes it crosses the line. And yeah, I'm down to watch streamers and Twitch people on Twitter or whatever. But sometimes it's like, all right, that's a little too far for me. And this is one of those cases where it's just a little too far.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's how I saw it as well. Cause it's like, you know,
I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum. If you're into it, go for it. But like, you know, it's not for me.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to make fun of the people, but it's, you know, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, plus anyone can make a decent argument that, like, we're no better.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We just hide it behind, like, oh, I'm making good goofs. Now I'm going to clap for you. Like, it is roughly the same
bam,
thing.
Bam, bam, bam. Smash the like button. Bam, bam, bam. Hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Hit the bell.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Subscribe. Zoop. Subscribe. Zoop.
It's the exact. Although, I think you could do that.
I probably could.
If all of yours were like, hit the bell.
Yeah.
Like. Follow.
Honestly, that's probably what I could do.
Share the video.
Until I'm, like, fully healed. Just, like, sit there with my eyes closed, like, hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Subscribe. Tell your friends. Share this video. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that. I'll be honest, I do that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, doing that, you're making a bunch of money. It's
The
pretty
most
easy.
shameful version of it. Like,
Yeah.
Please subscribe. Ding dong, hit that bell.
Oh, I forgot to mention this other guy. So I think this was like the day before my birthday. I went to this like cafe, like, you know, local cafe place. They do like bakery things and coffee and latte, whatever. And
Yeah, like a cafe. Yeah, that changed
like a
out.
cafe, you know. So listen, I mean, you don't know. It could be a maid cafe. But
they still do those things there. Like, maid cafes aren't just like you show up, a maid talks to you, and then you leave. You still get a drink or a sandwich or something.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, there's this old man there. You already know where it's going.
I always do.
And there's this old woman like looking at cakes, and there's this like her daughter was like filming him, and the old guy goes, "That gonna be on YouTube or TikTok?" And then they just start laughing like, haha. And he's like, see? Made them laugh. And then... and nobody was like, yeah. And so then he starts checking out his food, and he bought like some tea thing or something, and they're just like, that'll be $6.66. And he's like, $6.66? I should play the lottery.
That's unexpected, I'll be honest. For years when I worked at McDonald's, back when I was in high school, when people's orders, and this, of course, was Ohio, so it might be different for the rest of the world, but when people's orders would be 666, there was only one of two reactions. One, someone would be like, "Ooh, scary," or someone would be like, "Can I add something to that order?" And they get like the cheapest thing in the menu, so it wouldn't be 666. Because again, people are crazy. Anyway, sorry, please continue.
The way you said that sounded like the NPC thing. Like, 666, ooh, scary. 666, ooh, scary.
Well, I mean, no comment.
That was really it. Then I got my stuff and left.
What'd you get? What was your cafe order?
I got I got a coffee, and then I got two
Just
pastry.
a normal-ass coffee?
Yeah, that's what I do. And then I got Toaster Woman and iced matcha latte.
I like that. What was your pastry?
One was like this milk bread thing. It's like got like I don't know. It's called milk bread. It's got like cream and stuff in it. And then I got like a blueberry walnut milk bread thing. That was pretty good too.
So you're all in on milk bread. You're like a milk bread boy.
I mean, you know, I'm not getting it all the time, but every once in a while.
Right. Well, I mean, like, okay. Was this in like an Asian themed bakery?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was trying to figure out, like, all right, so we're hitting up matcha and milk bread. I'm like, this seems like more than just a normal bakery.
Yeah. No, it's definitely It's either Japanese or Korean. I'm not sure which one, but whatever it is, they make good milk bread.
That's cool. Actually. That's very cool.
Yeah, so I like that. It's better than the your standard like old Jimbo's cafe or something. They just give you like the thing that's been sitting under the heat lamp all day or whatever.
I will say I'm a big fan of, and when I say themed cafes right now, I don't mean like, like you were talking about a maid cafe. Never been. Maybe I'd enjoy it. Maybe the fetish I'm here for is maid cafes. I don't know. But
I guarantee you probably would.
Yeah, but I like a themed cafe. Like, I don't know, something about that tickles my fancy rather than just like Phil's. We serve coffee in Danish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's usually because those are pretty generic. I mean, not all of them probably, but.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm caught up in the like allure of it. It's probably no different. You know what I mean? In reality, they're probably the exact same thing, but I'm like, oh, the German bakery.
Yeah. I mean, I remember eating in London, like fancy little European bakery or whatever, the London one, and then they give you a little cup. That was fancy, just sitting out in the metal chair with a little cup, drinking coffee.
Yeah, that's what I did every single day. Every single day when I was there, I went to this bakery, got a coffee and a Danish, and sat outside for like 2 hours and just watched people. And I'm gonna let you know, people watching was good. There was one point where there's this woman who looked like she was a ghost. Like, I forgot to tell you the story.
All right.
Like, she was with a group of people. And I think they were her family. I don't know. But how in the family, there's always the, like, black sheep of the family?
Yeah.
This was that girl. She was dressed like a Victorian spirit in all black with, like, frills and doilies and lace. And she had a bonnet on and an umbrella. And I understand how some people will use an umbrella because they have very fair skin and, they can't be outside or whatever. I get it. I understand. But she was skulking through the streets. It's 11 a.m. and she's just like, she looks like she's looking for a victim to haunt. It was so wild. And the family was walking with her. And at one point, I think the dad had a shopping bag, like a paper bag full of something. I don't know what it was. And he kept trying to hand it to her. She turned to him and she goes, I don't want it. And the dad's like, well, then fine. He just puts it on the ground and walks away. And she starts screaming like a banshee wail. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? Everyone outside's looking at her. And then she sees that we're looking at her. And the best way to describe it is, when Scooby-Doo tries to run really fast and his legs go like, blah, 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 like zips away. It was roughly the same. She panicked so fast that she just zipped away. And there was a bag of something sitting there on the sidewalk for a good 10 minutes before the dad finally came back and got it. I was like, God, I love people watching. It's just the best.
It really is the best. I was, in fact, the other day when I was walking, because I was like, normally what I'll do is I'll like work on something. I'm like, gotta give my brain a break. So I just go for a walk, just, get some light exercise. And then there's these guys.
And your office is like in an area where there's a lot of stuff to see.
Oh, yeah. So I was walking and there are these guys and he's just like, bro, you're drunk, bro. And he's like, I'll fight you. I'll fight you. And they were just like yelling. And I was just like, so I was like, obviously walked the other way. But then I could just hear him still be like, yo, bro, like, I'll fight you, dude. And he's like, you're drunk, bro. You're drunk.
What time was this?
It was probably like 9 p.m.
I mean, you are near an area where around 9 p.m., 10, there would be drunks. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of opportunities to drink in that area.
There is. And so I was like, well, I think I'm good on walking today. So I did not walk again. But I always, you run into some stuff like that out in the wilderness of the cities.
You definitely do. That's true.
Yeah.
This is why I love cities. I love the fact that there's so many. Like, if you're in the countryside, yeah, you got your people who are like a little wild. But in the city, the amount of wild you see on a daily basis is just like today. Coming to film this, there was a car in front of me with, I'm going to say, it was a Range Rover that had whatever the maximum limit of human beings can be inside of it. It was all girls. I'm going to say all in their 20s or 30s, all with long black hair. At first, I swear to God, I thought it was the Kardashians. And they are trying to go from the furthest left lane to the furthest right lane to get off the highway. And it was as if the world had stopped in that moment. They almost hit 4 cars. Traffic was halted, and it was and the entire time they're oblivious to the whole thing, and they're all playing with their hair. I can see them through the back of the car, all playing with their hair while they're making this incredibly dangerous turn on the highway.
Oh my
and
God.
I was just like, man, I love the big city.
The craziness is just condensed.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah. So it's those are all my stories. It was like stories, and then I got my concussion, and now I've just been chilling. So I don't really have any stories after that, aside from the main story.
Well, I got a story for you.
All right.
It's the story about how I made some delicious food this week with HelloFresh.
Oh.
That's right. HelloFresh is the best way to get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip all the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Make your home the hangout place this summer with crowd-pleasing eats, from backyard bratwurst to some delicious key lime pie. The HelloFresh Market makes it so much easier to just grab various ingredients in a cinch. That's right, you can skip the grocery store and add other things rather than just the pre-portioned meals. Snacks, sides, and more. You can add them to your weekly order. Simply shop the HelloFresh Market. Take a pick from over 100 curated items. It's awesome. There's so much stuff there, but we're talking about the meals, because the meals are what's really important. They got Calorie Smart, Protein Smart, lunch, dinner options, vegan dinners to choose from, all sorts of stuff. This week, I got a box in the mail, and I was like, ooh, what did I get this time? Got 3 things. Got a beef dish, a chicken dish, and a shrimp dish. And the shrimp dish was a sweet and spicy shrimp noodle stir-fry thing. Ooh, let me tell you, I'm not a big cooker of shrimp. I don't do it often, right? It's not a thing I do.
Yeah.
But I had the shrimp, and I was like, let's do this thing. It can't be that hard to make this. And it wasn't. It was literally oil in the pan, throw in the shrimp, then in another bowl, mix all the different sauce ingredients that are already pre-portioned, mix that up with some honey, and it's like, ooh, okay. And then put the noodles in the pot that was already boiling that I had going on, and it was like a really thin ramen-y noodle style, which was awesome. And then you pour the sauce over the shrimp, and then you throw the veggies in with the shrimp, and then when you're done, you just mix it all together. The end. It was the simplest thing I could ever have done. Delicious. It looked exactly like it looked in the picture. Felt really good about the whole thing. So then the next day, I made the chicken dish. And here's the thing. The chicken dish had some sort of creamy sauce. It was like chicken, potato, salad. It was very simple. Didn't like the sauce. So what did I do? I made the salad the way they wanted me to make it. I made the potatoes the way they wanted me to make it. And the chicken, just cut it up. And then I put some peri-peri sauce on it and went to town. And it was fine. I didn't have to do the thing they wanted me to do because you're making it, right? If you have things you don't like in these recipes, you can just take them out because that's how it works. It's so simple. That's why I love HelloFresh. It's one of my absolute favorite meal delivery services. It features quality proteins, fresh produce, and plans for any sort of lifestyle you got. It's no wonder HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. And you can get on this too right now if you go to HelloFresh.com/Cox50 and use code Cox50, Cox50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, HelloFresh.com/Cox, COX50 and use code Cox50 for 50% off plus free shipping at checkout. That is why it is America's #1 meal kit. All right, Crendor, let's go to Let's go. Crendor has a truck out there.
Oh boy, traffic. Nothing's changed. It's traffic. Although I forgot to mention, we did actually eat these saucy pork burrito bowls last night, and they were actually really good. It was really good. It was like saucy, like onions. It's like a cilantro lime rice. That shit was good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was really good. So hopefully that protein's helping my brain. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. Let's go to the weather.
Ooh, weather. Let's see. Weather request for Woburn, Massachusetts. My best friend works there and listens every Monday on her commute, and it's got a super cute downtown square.
Yo, she single though?
I knew that's what you were gonna say. So
I have to. It's my bit, man. It's my. Let me have this.
It's
one of the few bits I got.
It's
loneliness and depression are the few bits I have. Okay.
It's like half a bit, half a really hoping. Your dad's probably just like, I'll take you to meet her. I'll drive you there.
Oh my. Speaking of which, oh my God, my mom messaged me after last week's episode.
Yep.
And she said, and I quote, "Sorry for the mean comment in the car. I felt bad after I said it, but I was just reacting for you making fun of Maxine, which is their dog." So my mom got mad at me for saying that their dog sucked. And so she was like, "You're never going to have a kid because you can't even get a girlfriend."
You're fat and lonely. You're fat and lonely and dumb.
I messaged her back and I was like, "Mom, I've known you my entire life. You're my parents. I don't take offense at all. So like I was like, you guys have to deal with me, so I get it. Don't worry." Like, I was not offended. It just was very funny to me that you guys went in on me.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't scar me in any way. I love you guys. I'm not like, oh, I hate my parents. I love my parents. It was just a very funny thing where I was like, yeah, this sounds right. Which made it even more funny because Mom was like, "You just made fun of our dog and I love our dog so much, and so he like went after you." It actually is very cute now that I think about it. Them just being like, "We love our dog. How dare you?"
That is true,
at least our dog could possibly give us grandkids.
I mean, it probably could. Well,
probably before I could, sure.
In Woburn, Massachusetts, 84 degrees, 40% humidity, 29.93 inches of pressure. Feels like 85, visibility 10 miles an hour, dew point 57, wind 4 miles an hour, 5:28 sunrise, 8:13 p.m. sunset, UV index 1 of 11 with a waxing crescent moon phase. 10-day, 87, partly cloudy on Monday. Tuesday, 84 with PM thunderstorms. Wednesday, 89, sunny. Thursday, 90, partly cloudy. Friday, 91, PM thunderstorms. Saturday, 85, partly cloudy. And Sunday, 78 with AM showers.
I don't know why I know this place. Probably Mathis, let's be real.
That's true.
But it also could be from listening to Car Talk on NPR for 20 years.
Yep.
But yeah. It's beautiful. It's like just a quaint, small New England town. Love it.
Yeah, I see that. It does look like a nice little quaint, small New England town.
Yeah, the fact that they have a lot of back roads that look like they drive through forests, I'm like, man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would go crazy there, obviously.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I would be like, there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing for me to do. But like, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. That's the weather.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Let's see. Football, basketball, slowly going through their off seasons. Hockey as well. There's actually the Women's World Cup happening.
Yes, go Team America, as usual.
Yep, it looks like currently...
Get it, ladies.
The standings are, let's see, who's in first? Switzerland, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Spain, Denmark, England, U.S., Netherlands, and Sweden. Again, wait, didn't I already say? Oh, Switzerland, never mind, and Sweden. So yeah, I don't know what any of this means. I don't know how long it lasts. I'm just like, I guess they're in first.
Speaking of women's sports, I'm really impressed by this. The International Basketball Federation, I think it might just be the Women's League. I'm not sure, but I'm going to send this to you because it's super cool, and I want you to give your reaction. They have a new basketball court, and if this is the future, I am 200% in for this being a part of sports. It's an LED glass basketball court. It is the coolest. Basically, it's your standard basketball court, but the ground is a screen, and stuff is happening on the screen while they play, and it is amazing.
That is actually really cool. However, that is prime advertisement central.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, that's obviously what it is. But you can even see it in the video of the ground literally changing to ads as they move away from, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is what I've been thinking about the entire time, and I need you to know this. Splatoon can be real now, dude.
Oh my God.
I mean, it can.
You're right, it can.
This is Splatoon. We can do real ass Splatoon now.
You're a squid now. You're a kid now.
One of the things in this clip as they go over the Switch watch logo is the broom, and the broom is literally mopping and changing the paint color of the floor. You could make Splatoon.
There is some really cool stuff you can do with that, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, for sure. Same thing with the Knights, the Las Vegas Knights hockey team, and their arena when they did that like long ago. I love that. I want more of that.
Yeah, it's there is part of it where like they get the ball, they start running down the court, and everything starts changing while they're running. I don't like that. I don't like shit changing.
Yeah,
on the
that would
floor
drive me
while
crazy as like a fan watching. Like if it's too much, sure. Yeah. But when they do the free throw,
any like pauses and stuff,
and the ground does like a boing. I think that's neat. There's a lot of cool things you can do without it being too much.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. I didn't even know they did that, so that's cool. I wouldn't mind but yeah, they definitely did that for advertising purposes. But I wouldn't mind more people building that in.
I mean, they're just gamifying everything. I was watching a clip of a baseball game, and the guy was like, "Is this a Major League Baseball video game, or is this real life?" And it literally is because they're using all this drone footage, and the way the camera moves with the drones, it looks like you're like playing a video game. Absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crazy. Was it MLB The Show?
Well, it was the actual. It was the real ass baseball game, but they were saying it looked like it was the show.
Yeah, I see. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, look, I thought we'd have flying cars, but if this is what we're going to get, I'm, all right, I'm here for it. I'll take it.
And that's sports.
All right. What's our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. You are more likely to get a computer virus from visiting religious sites than adult sites.
Yes. Oh, 100%. One of the things, excuse me. One of the things I think people, I don't know, thought of or was put into their head in the early 2000s was if you go to an adult site, you're going to get a virus, right?
Right.
But really, you're more likely to get a virus downloading a song or get a virus like from an email that was sent to you. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it because an adult site, they need you to come back.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you a virus and then you're not going to come back to their adult. The whole point of going to the adult site is they can feed you a million ads for like penis size and weird sort of, weird stuff. Their whole point is that they need you to come back because they need the viewership to make $1 bajillion doing that.
Well,
why would they put a virus on there?
I feel like back in the day, they did have a lot of pop-ups that would try and install stuff.
Well, that's annoying. Pop-ups are different than a legitimate virus, though.
Right. Yeah,
like
true.
And that I think is a huge thing that people learned. I mean, maybe back in the 2000s, maybe I'm just misremembering, and there were some erotic, dirty sites that had viruses, but I guarantee those aren't around anymore because it's not a business model. It's literally some guy being a dick. Yeah. And now it's one of the most, if not biggest parts of the internet. Let's not pretend porn is keeping the internet going. So let's not even try to pretend it's otherwise. And that's one of those things where it's a business. And just like how if we go to a convention, I'm in bed by 10 because I'm there for business. Even if I'm there to have fun, I got to be up the next day and do it all over again. I'm not going to go out and get crazy party down because I got stuff to do. And I learned that the hard way, which I think a lot of people in the porn industry probably learned too, where it's like, look, this is a long-term industry. And so, I would believe that they would put it on religious sites more than porn sites, mostly because right now a lot of people headed to religious sites are, going to borderline QAnon sites.
Okay, yep. Well, let's see. According to research from Symantec, religious websites carry 3 times more malware threats than adult sites. Symantec found that the average number of security threats on religious sites was around 115 compared to adult sites, which was around 25. In fact, only 2.4% of adult sites were infected with malware. Researchers hypothesize that's because adult sites need to generate profit, so there's a financial incentive to keeping them virus-free.
Yep, yeah. It's not. You don't have to be smart to figure it out.
Yeah,
it's a business, and a lot of religious websites are just, some guy ranting about something, and that's a different thing completely.
Yep. They're non-profit. They don't pay their taxes. They don't get. They don't need taxes.
It's that simple. It's that. So yeah, I totally get it. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. So there's your fact of the day.
All right. Well, what's our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Annual Ernest Hemingway look-alike contest begins in Florida Keys.
We're back at it again.
We're back.
I love this every year.
The tradition. Many of the 140 bearded men competing attempt to copy the Papa persona, an appearance adopted by Hemingway in his later years. Almost 140 bearded men who resemble Ernest Hemingway converged on Key West, the late author's home, during the 1930s to compete in the Hemingway look-alike contest that began Thursday evening. Challenge is a highlight of the island's Hemingway Days festival that salutes the literary talent and adventurous life of the Nobel Prize-winning writer. During his Key West years, Hemingway penned classics including For Whom the Bell Tolls and To Have and Have Not. The 3-night look-alike competition is held at Sloppy Joe's Bar.
Hell yeah, it is.
Where Hemingway often spent time with local and literary friends. That's one of those things you have like a famous author. Like, where do you think he went? He went to Sloppy Joe's. You think he goes to like some fancy place or something, whatever?
But that's like if you think of like British authors. It's like, where'd they spend their days? Oh, he went to a pub called the Queen's Tit. Like it's never as cool as you think.
Closely observed by a judging panel of previous winners, including 2022's John Auville of Dade City, Florida, contestants take turns pontificating and parading across Sloppy Joe's stage. Many are repeat contenders who bring their own cheering sections, and most attempt to copy the Papa persona and appearance adopted by Hemingway in his later years. The contest's second preliminary round is set for Friday, the 124th anniversary of Hemingway's July 21st birthday, and the winner is set to be chosen Saturday night. Hemingway Days continues through Sunday with events including quirky Running of the Bulls spoof and a street fair and the Key West Marlin tournament that recalls the author's passion for Florida Keys fishing.
I love it because it's literally just old, slightly overweight, gray-haired bearded man.
I see that, yep.
Like just a huge group of them. And I love that they all are wearing the exact same outfit.
It is really weird that they all look the same.
It's crazy. I mean, I guess that's the point. You're trying to look like someone else, so... But what a treat. What a fun look at all these guys. I love that this is the thing. It is truly a pointless thing, and I'm here for it. It is great.
That reminds me, I watched the other day the... what's his name? Eddie Burbank, I believe. Last year, he went to every Rainforest Cafe.
Yes.
And now he went to every Margaritaville.
Yep. That is, and I think I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, the exact purpose of the internet.
Yep. I loved it.
It is so good. Yes, it is. These are the kind of things the internet was made for, and we've fallen so far from it. I'll be honest. We need more of this. This is content.
That's the true dedication. Like, he drove across the country to do this.
Every single one, and it's just exactly what you would expect to, which is that's perfect.
Highly recommend. Very good video.
Very good video. Yes.
And that's the big news story of the day.
All right. Well, that is it for us. Thanks so much for listening and watching. I'm enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit them with the socials.
You got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a weather request, hit the bell, be notified. We got other stuff. Listen, my brain's already aching. Just search us.
Gang.
What?
Like, hit subscribe. Gang.
Oh, God. All right. Search.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell. Search Jesse Cox. Search Crendor. You'll find it. Yeah. I'm going to go take a walk after this.
Hell yeah. That's a good idea.
And that's that.
All right. We'll see y'all next weekend as always. Woo. To be continued.